I hope everyone is having a beautiful Monday. It is finals week here in San Luis Obispo for Cal Poly students. So, Abby, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
We are making it through. I'm about to get some half-off pizza after this at Blaze, the best pizza place. Well, it's a good pizza place in SLO, but
it's really good.
Really quickly, as y'all are coming in, hello. I will introduce myself really quickly, and we'll kind of give an overview of what is happening today. Welcome, everyone. Oh, there's so many of y'all on here. Hello, my name is Lindsay Katzer. I am a current fourth-year business administration major with a concentration in human resources and management and a minor in psychology. If you have any questions about what any of that means, check out our admissions YouTube playlist. There's literally a video that describes it all. I think I did it, so shameless plug. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and oh, hello. Oh, so many friends down saying hello. So exciting. And I am calling from the Welcome Center, or not the Welcome Center, the admissions Instagram account. And Abby and I are both employees of the Welcome Center / like admissions office. So Abby, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you. I will. Hello, everyone. My name is Abby Allen. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And I'm from San Jose, California, so Bay Area friends. My major is kinesiology, and I have a minor in biological sciences as well. So any questions about College of Science mathematics, I got you. Or just anything in general with Cal Poly. Yeah, I'm just super stoked to be here today.
Well, so for all of you first timers here, this is Mustang Mondays, where we're going to talk about a different topic every Monday. Really quickly, I do just want to say congratulations to all of you. Just for even if you're here because you're going through the college application process right now, congratulations even just for doing all of it. I remember doing it like it was yesterday, and I remember it was a lot. And I don't know. So just kudos to all of you doing it. And if you've gotten to Cal Poly, yay, congrats. Abby and I will both be here next year. So say hi to us if you see us on campus. But Abby, what are we talking about today?
We are going to be talking about our favorite aspects of San Luis Obispo. So we're super excited to talk about this. I also did just want to say I'm actually jumping in on the PolyReps account. And PolyReps, we are the official university ambassadors for Cal Poly. We are a completely volunteer group. Lindsay and I are also both in that. So it's kind of fun because we get to do both aspects of admissions and also PolyReps. So any tours that are given like through Cal Poly, our group are on those tours. So yeah. This is just like another fun thing to be doing and just kind of explain some of SLO to y'all today.
Really quickly before we get started, oh, hello, Sasha from Mountain View. Hello. Really quickly before we get started, if y'all have any questions, please go ahead and ask them in the chat, or there's a little like question comment bubble thing. Go ahead and click that and send us questions. We'll be checking it throughout this conversation. Also, just for any of you who have this question, I will throw it out there. All admissions decisions will be released by April 1st. So you will get your decision by April 1st. Do not fret, do not worry. You will hear back. So just what we'll remind y'all a few times throughout this. So and really quickly, this will be uploaded into our admissions YouTube playlist afterwards. So if you miss some things and not others, go ahead and check that out. Also, a ton of things that we're going to be talking about, we have videos up on there already. I
see some of y'all are from the Bay Area and San Jose. Hello. Love to see it.
Well, if we want to get started,
yeah, let's jump into it.
Yeah.
So San Luis Obispo, if you have not heard of that, that is where Cal Poly is. San Luis Obispo is the city that Cal Poly is in, but San Luis Obispo is actually also the county. So there's a bunch of different cities within San Luis Obispo County, which is pretty cool. I feel like people always like to know like what I like most about this location, and being in the central coast of California is just such an ideal spot for so many reasons. One of those being that we are right in between LA and the Bay. So it's super nice because you can take really easy weekend trips to either of those locations. Honestly, anywhere in California, like we're central, so like it's really easy to get to a lot of places, which is super nice. Another thing is like we can also take day trips to like Santa Barbara, and Big Sur is really close to us as well. So I love that there's so many places that we can travel to from San Luis Obispo. Yeah, it's just awesome. Another thing that's really cool about SLO is just like the overall vibe, I would say, of SLO is just, it's very much so a typical college town. So San Luis Obispo, there's 40,000 residents in the city, and Cal Poly students actually make up half of that, which is insane. So it's really cool because it feels like there's always students around, but I think it almost makes like our big school feel super small, that we're like half of San Luis Obispo, in general. So it's pretty nice that we have that. And then another thing, we're definitely going to touch more on these, but just like hikes and beaches and our downtown, so cute. There's seriously always something to be doing in SLO. And so it's cool, especially like during a pandemic, there's a lot of things to do outdoors as well. So I think there's a lot that we're going to touch on that like we just love about SLO. So yeah, anything else you want to touch on there, Linz?
No, honestly, like we're going to be diving into like specific things throughout all of that, but a big question that we get, especially because SLO, we're being in between LA and San Francisco and things like that. Those are such massive cities. We get the question a lot of, do you ever run out of things to do? And if by the end of this video, you don't believe us that we never run out of things to do, I can just tell you, I am a fourth year. I have a bucket list on my wall, and I am nowhere even close to finishing it. So, but we're going to dive into all of that here in just a little bit. And yeah, wow. There's just so much to do, so much to cover. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey Abby, what do you do for fun on the weekends?
Great question. There are so many things to do, like we've been saying. One of those things I do want to touch on is that the trips I was talking about earlier, there actually are some like specific places that are closer to SLO, and that like you could take a full day trip to some of these places. So like Big Sur, I've been camping there with my friends. You just like drive up for the night and you just get to hang out in Big Sur, and it's the best thing ever. You can go to Santa Barbara for the day. Like some of my roommates actually went there last weekend just for the entire day, just to hang out, do homework in like a different location, and also just get to walk around like their downtown, experience that. There's also a super cute town named Solvang. Lindsay's obsessed with it.
Their desserts are so good. So good.
Yeah, it's a really cute town that a lot of students like to go to just for like a different vibe and just to get to go hang out somewhere new. Lots of good food there. And then also there's some mountains around here like China Peak and Mammoth that people like to go to ski, snowboard.
Kids
ski
here. It is
so
insane. I was born in Oklahoma, and it's flat there, so that was never a skill I acquired as a child. And I come here, and everyone's like, "We're going skiing for the weekend." And I was like, "Okay, see you when you get back."
Everybody skis, and if you don't worry, because you can learn.
You can learn.
There's a mountain very close, so don't even worry. So that's like a little bit about just some trips. Linz, is there a trip that you've taken that you just like love?
I went up for it was for Grace's birthday, actually. We went up to Big Sur and did a waterfall hike for her birthday, which was so fun. And actually it is a little bit farther, but my friends and I are taking a COVID safe trip to Joshua Tree, which is honestly like 5 hours. And so because we're so in the middle of everything, you just have access to literally everything, which is so nice. And I don't know, love that a lot about me. So.
Agreed. I love that.
That's awesome. Even when I don't want to necessarily leave, there's so much to do here. Like you talked about just the amount of hikes and the amount of beaches. Like I'm a big Avila Beach kind of girl. Not gonna lie, like Avila just you can get an acai bowl and go on the swing sets and watch the sunset. And honestly, that sounds like the most beautiful thing to me. But
yes, we were talking about the beaches before this actually, and there's another beach that I love. It's called Shell Beach. It has this really, really sweet, just like grass area, and then it just drops off into like the ocean and like the sandy part of it, which is
Yeah.
really cool. So you can go there, have a picnic with your friends, like on the grass, and just hang out and watch the sunset. It's awesome. There's not like per se a super big town down there, but
Right.
it's more for just like the vibes of sitting and hanging out and like catching up with someone. So I love Shell. I also really like to surf there. It's another cool place. Surfing is like a big thing in SLO, I would say. So like,
it's true.
yeah.
My roommates have been going. They go in January. They go in February, April, March, and they're like, "Now it's warm and we can go." I'm like, "You've been going the last 2 months."
Yeah.
You're quite adventurous.
Yeah, surfing doesn't stop here. So like, even if you're like me and super bad and just like ride a wave storm everywhere, like you can still go have fun and just play in the waves at any location. There's also other beaches you might have heard of, or like Pismo, Cayucas,
Morrow, which is just 20
Morrow.
minutes north. Most of the beaches that we're talking about are about 20 minutes south. But there's a ton of different stuff right up the coast too.
Yeah,
Nice.
beaches. They're just the best. We have so many, and it's really cool that we live so close because
True.
I really did not imagine myself going to a college that was so close to the beach. So it's really cool that I am, you know?
Like, I remember getting one thing that that I don't know if it happened to you, Abby, but it happened in my residence hall a lot. We'd have like this big group chat and people would message in the chat saying, who wants, even as like a first year, it'd be our first month, and people would say, who wants to go have a sunrise surfing session? And like a ton of people would go, and it was the coolest thing. So is the water cold?
It's pretty cold. It's pretty cold.
Like, I went in without a wetsuit and like I was fine.
Okay, but when you're surfing, you want to wear a wetsuit.
Yeah,
but like
you actually can rent one.
Yeah, you can.
Which we'll talk about in a little bit. But we'll talk about that. But more than just beaches, I mean, like, Abby, do you ever get out and like hike in the mountains in the Poly Canyon Village?
Yeah, no, there are some awesome hikes around SLO. There's one thing that you might have heard a Cal Poly student talk about in the past. It's called the Tri-Tip Challenge. So we actually have there's like 3 mountains that you hike. It's Madonna, also known as San Luis, Bishop's Peak, and then also the P on Cal Poly's campus. And it's really cool because you hike all 3 of those in like the same morning, afternoon, and then you go downtown Firestone and you get a tri-tip sandwich if you're into that. I'm vegetarian, so I like to get salads, but but it's more for just like the aesthetic of like, oh, I completed the tri-tip challenge. So it's kind of fun. I have yet to do it. I kind of need to like get on that.
I'm in the same boat.
Kind of a rite of passage before you graduate. You have to do it. So
my diploma will be worth nothing if I need to get
you don't complete the tri-tip challenge. You basically
can't graduate.
Cal Poly. Yeah.
Also, I do see some questions about transportation in the chat. One, just to plug it again, in our YouTube playlist bunch of videos, there's an entire one on transportation. I also think I did that one. Sorry, you can't get rid of me and me talking about Cal Poly. But so definitely check that out. But there is a free bus system that can take you anywhere. You also can like rent a car off campus or on campus to get off campus. So, but we talk about all that in the video, but there's tons of transportation, even if you don't have a car.
Yeah,
so
totally.
What I mean, and we're there's like, sorry, I'm just thinking of other things to drive around to, and we have so many things just like downtown. Have you ever been to the Fremont Theater concerts?
Yes, I was just gonna talk about those concerts because they are the best. So we have a theater downtown called Fremont, and there's like so many things that actually go on in that theater, which is super cool. But one of those things are concerts, and it's really cool because it's so close to campus, and so we have our own theater like right in downtown, where some really cool artists have been in the past. And then we also have Avila Beach has like a golf course where they actually have concerts outside. And so that's super cool too, because that's like a different setting, and hopefully those will be back someday. But
I went and saw Creed from The Office perform at Fremont Theater. Incredible.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the concerts. yeah, it's just like another thing to do in SLO. And it's really cool also because like there's a lot of venues in SLO County as well. So you can reach a lot of different types of artists in different areas. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I took some notes. So I'm going down my list here. But I mean, are there any like little things that you do? I'm a big drive-in movie person. I love the Sunset Drive-In here in SLO. I saw like a Grease Footloose double feature one night.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
But are there any things you and your friends do on like weekends that you definitely hit?
I think one of the best things, honestly, is just driving around SLO or walking through downtown. Our downtown is precious. We haven't really talked much about it yet, but downtown is just like, I feel like the epitome of what someone thinks of when they think of like San Luis Obispo is just like our downtown. It is so precious. It's so precious. Like so many shops, so many coffee shops. Coffee shops are like probably my favorite thing in the entire planet. Lindsay and I are talking about our different favorite shops, and there are so many to go to. There's probably like 20.
There's gotta be more, and they pop up all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. There's actually just a brand new one that opened like right across the street from my house, which is incredible. I don't remember what it's called, but we'll have to try it.
There's also, I see something about dorm food, and I just always feel the need to address this. There's a brand new dining hall, and it's incredible. And they have a brunch station, a dessert station, a noodle station. So if you're a first year or anyone and you're worried about first year food, you're well taken care of. Let's just say that. But when you're off campus and you're like, I need caffeine, I would say a personality trait of San Luis Obispo and Cal Poly students is our coffee shops.
Yeah.
Just to throw that out.
Yeah. It's like ingrained in student life is like going to coffee shops and studying, seeing every person on the planet for some reason. And also everybody has like a coffee shop that I feel like is like their personality / characteristic. So like Lindsay, tell them what you are.
I gotta say, I'm a fan of Scout. I gotta say it. It's hard because sometimes the outlet situation can be tough, but if you go in prepared and with the right mindset, it's just sunshine in a restaurant. It's beautiful.
It's sunshine and coffee. I love it. My fave would have to be Field Day. I love Field Day so much. It's a newer one, and it's right down the street from my house, so I walk there like way too often. Yeah, it's super nice. So coffee shops, you have to hit them when you're in SLO. Walk through downtown, see some shops, do a bunch of stuff down there. It's so fun.
Get some coffee, just enjoy the life. Also, the weather here is beautiful. So
yes, it is. And speaking of weather, sunrises and sunsets are always popping off. Tell me your favorite location, Linz.
Okay, there's a thing called Terrace Hill, and it's my friend describes it as a mound. It's only like a 5-minute walk up to the top, but you can see all of San Luis Obispo on top of it, and you can see campus, and sometimes you're kind of like above the clouds, even though it's not that high up, and it's beautiful, and watching the sunset, and you have the peaks all around you. It's just unbeatable. Yeah.
I love Terrace. Also, Perfumo Canyon. That's another awesome place to go. It's like kind of like a windy drive up, but once you're at the top, again, you're just like above the clouds, rolling hills, just like all around you. It
endless.
Is stunning. It's stunning.
So nice. Also, I see someone asking for the names of coffee shops. I will continue to plug it. Check out the YouTube playlist because we have an entire video dedicated to the best study shops on campus, and that entire video was about coffee shops. So
but those two we just talked about were Scout and Field Day. Those are just like a couple if you need some right now.
Nautical Bean. Linnea is like choose your pick. Well, that's, if any of y'all have any questions about things to do off campus, shoot us a question and we will check those out. I'm gonna see if we have really quickly, for anyone wondering, yet again, admission decisions will be released April 1st, so you will hear back. There are students on campus right now. Yes. Speaking of
another thing I wanted to ask you super quickly, restaurants are kind of amazing in SLO. Restaurants are incredible. That's like one of my favorite parts of SLO is the food. I can't lie, I'm just a foodie, and I want to know what your favorite restaurant is, Linz.
Okay, I give food recommendations at the end of all my tours. I'm big on Tacos de Acapulco. It's a Mexican restaurant, literally walking distance to my house. There's the classic Giuseppe's, which is great. Italian food, especially when your parents come to visit, because I'm a college student. And, you know, oh man, I'm a really big dessert person. So Night Creamery, where they make the ice cream in front of you and put it in this like puff waffle cone, is incredible. And Slodoco for donuts, just. And Thai. Wow, I'm just gonna go off this list. Oh, Firestone. Okay, I got sandwiches. High Street. All right,
High Street. Yeah, there's pretty much too many to name, is what she's saying, because there's just so many options for food. So come here and just be amazed. Like, it's really awesome.
I'm sorry. I was like, I can't think of any, and then I named all.
I love it.
But so that's some stuff about off campus. But Abby, why don't you tell us a little bit about life on campus?
Of course. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on campus, and like some of the reasons that I love SLO are because of how many things go on with Cal Poly that kind of involve our community as well. One of those things is that athletics and sporting events, like when those things were going on in person, and like hopefully will be again someday, it's really cool how many people in the SLO community actually come to those games. And so it's super awesome because you'll be sitting with your friends cheering on the football team, and you'll look next to you and there'll be this adorable family sitting there just hanging out. So I think that's super cool that Cal Poly really tries to make our events like a community thing and not just like Cal Poly student thing. So that's super nice. Another thing, this is one of Lindsay's favorite things, is the rec center. The rec center is a beautiful, wonderful place that you can do so many things at. It's huge. It is pretty new. I think like 2012 it was built. And there's just so many awesome features about the rec center that can keep you entertained for hours. I could just like walk around there and jump from activity to activity and not be bored.
And so take a nap on the beanbag.
Exactly.
Have in there for you if you're, all Zumba'd out, or you play, hoops for. Yeah. Also, Zac Efron's worked out there before. I just need to say it. I don't know.
It needs to be known as fact that he has. Yeah.
Like, for all y'all listening, Zac Efron has worked out at Cal Poly. In case any of you were wondering, because I think you were. You guys were like, where is Zac Efron worked out?
Yeah, so see, there's just so many exciting things about the rec center. Another thing that we actually have is the rock wall right outside the rec center. We have like a bouldering wall, and then also like a rock wall where you get hooked up to all the equipment. I don't really know what it's called. But it's really cool. It's just like another thing. That community of like people who climb are super cool too, and just like, yeah, they kind of have their own thing going on. So I love to walk by and see them.
They're always bumping with music, and it seems just like so fun. And honestly, the climbing community I hear at Cal Poly is just, it's a great time from what I understand. I have a friend he's really into climbing, and he goes out all the time. Just like even just around SLO, he goes climbing. There's a ton of different places.
I love that.
For any of you climbers out there, shameless plug. Also, I don't know the answer to that about your dog. I wish I could bring my dog to school. I don't know. I don't think I have enough say in life at Cal Poly to give you that answer. Also, there are a ton of like pools and outside in the rec center. Just to plug that again, there's a few pools in the back. There's like a lap pool, leisure pool, and a whirlpool, and 3 sand volleyball courts and a barbecue pit. So not only are you getting swole inside, but you're vibing outside. So no wonder Zac came and hang out.
Love that. That's awesome. I have a question then, Linz. Actually, can you tell me about Polyscapes?
Yeah, I can. So, the closest snowboard skiing mountain, that would be China Peak. I believe north of Fresno.
I think it's like 2 hours, right?
Okay.
Is that wrong? 2?
I agree. There's also a ton of people go to like Mammoth, Tahoe, or like Big Bear down south. So There's places literally any driving distance
surrounding all of us.
And if you come to Cal Poly and say you're a first year and you don't bring any of your skiing or snowboarding equipment, or you want to go kayaking or paddleboarding, the answer to that is Poly Escapes. Because we have so many opportunities just around SLO, of like things to do, you're not always gonna have the equipment like necessary to do these things. We have Poly Escapes, which is a place where you can rent any gear you might need, like if you need a surfboard for the day and a wetsuit, and just shy of 4 hours, there you go. There's your answer. So if you need your surfboard and wetsuit but you didn't bring one or you don't own one, Poly Escapes will let you rent one for like $5 a day, and you can just take them out, and you rent a car on campus and take it out to the beach, and there you go, you have yourself a beach day for really, really inexpensive. And so Poly Escapes just really allows for you to take advantage of all the beautiful things around us. They also, during non-COVID times, they have trips planned. So I believe over spring break, there was like a Yosemite Half Dome trip. They have like experienced guides that will take you around different areas. If you want to go kayaking with the otters in Morro Bay, there's a Poly Escapes trip for that. So did I cover it all, or did I miss
I think you did. That was a beautiful job. Yeah. There's so many opportunities to like get outside, and if you feel like you don't have experience, there's always someone who's willing to help you, whether that be a friend or someone through ASI or Poly Escapes or anything like that. Another thing to talk about, I saw somebody asking about intramural sports. Yeah, totally. Like there's so many also like just club involvements. Like we have some really fun clubs like Spikeball Club and Ski Club and Hampkin Club and like all those fun things. But then we also have our intramural sports that it can just be you and your friends getting a team together, going out and just competing against other friend groups. So I would definitely say a lot of students participate in IM sports.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a flex when you win and you're a champion in intramurals at Cal Poly. You get this really cool shirt.
It's kind of awesome.
And it's kind of like everyone just respects you immediately. I think it's pretty cool. Should you go to Cal Poly? Yes.
Absolutely.
If that's the question. Yes. I support the decision fully to go to Cal Poly. But yeah, so intramurals, they're fantastic.
Yeah. Totally. Of course, also with like our intramurals and any clubs that we have, we also have something called ASI, and this is like kind of, if you have heard of what ASB is in high school, it's like that, but on like a huge, massive scale, and they do a lot for our school. They also work with a $17 million budget, which is absolutely insane. So they are putting on events they're putting on events just for students, completely just like getting us excited and involved and, you know, just like happy about things that are going on campus. Some cool things that we have had is we have a lot of guest speakers actually come, which are really, really slept on because they're actually so cool. Lindsay, can you please tell me about some of them?
Yeah. Whether you're a fan of David Dobrik or Shaq, also known as DJ Diesel, check out his music. It's actually really cool. We had speakers like Anthony from Queer Eye. We had Spike Lee. Like so many people have come. Also, I do see the question I want to address really quickly that Josie asked about if the social scene necessarily is always around outdoorsy activities. In my personal opinion, it's totally there if you want it, but there's so many other things to get involved with. But Abby, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, I think the amount of interest that exists at Cal Poly is insane. I think people are like all involved in just so many different things that there's something for you in like every aspect of life. Definitely. Whether that's like academic and you want to get super involved with like your academic clubs, there's a lot of those, but also like there are like the outdoors clubs. There's also like artistic like arts clubs and just like different things like that. So no matter what you're interested in, like
there's
you can join a club for it, or you can make a club for it. For example, we have a friend named Anna. She started our ukulele club at Cal Poly, which I'm actually in because I play ukulele. So that's just like another thing that I can do for fun on top of all the other things I'm involved in as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. My friend, she was really involved in my friend Natalie, she was head of like the radio station. She got really involved in it when she was like a first or second year. So I mean, I don't know what her inclination is towards outdoor activities, but like she got really into that, and that was a big part of her life. So there's so many different like things. Also, can you take music classes without majoring? If you have free electives, heck
Totally.
yeah, go for it.
I'm actually doing that for one of my GEs. Actually, it's gonna like cover a GE for me because I just want to take it. So, yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool. I don't know how to play any musical instrument except for the keyboard. So, all right. But also another office member, Rainn Wilson, came to Cal Poly. So many different people that are Associated Student Incorporated bring onto campus, and they also put on huge events. They are really just investing like their money and time into the Cal Poly students. So there are things from like goat yoga and therapy dogs, and it's just like the little things, honestly, on campus. That's what I think for me. But Abby, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's so many things that they do for us that are just like small and make me smile throughout my days on going to school, you know, so it's pretty cool.
Free food.
Wow. Yeah, free
food. So have you done any volunteering while here at Cal Poly?
Yeah, so I actually have gotten the chance to volunteer at a place called Front Porch. It is not necessarily associated with Cal Poly, but it's a little coffee shop, study spot off of campus, and it's my favorite place ever. I just get to volunteer there and get to volunteer with other students and meet a lot of Cal Poly students, which is super cool. So there's also a lot of other things you can do at Cal Poly to just like volunteer, give back, and get involved. One of those things, there's actually a cat shelter at Cal Poly, and you can volunteer to help with the cat shelter and just like adoption process and things like that. So yeah, it's really cool. And then I saw that somebody asked how close to campus Front Porch is. Front Porch is super close to campus, like maybe 5 steps off of like 5 steps off of the campus perimeter. It's so close. So I practically live there when I have classes on campus because I can just bounce to and from. It's wonderful.
It's a great just space for students on campus, and the nicest people are there. Abby being one of them. So it's cute.
It's cute.
Will SLO days be in person? I do not have that answer.
Yeah, I think somebody's going to be answering that in the chat.
Yes.
But yeah, there were some questions just about dates of SLO days and such. And SLO days over summer, WOW is the first week of school, so just kind of be expecting that. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, so you're already in your dorms during WOW week. And that's because like you move in and then it's WOW week. Like you like get to Cal Poly and then you're in it and like you're thrown into a lot of things, and it's really fun.
So there is also the question, what kind of class schedule would you recommend to make the most out of SLO? So this is gonna sound did we talk about farmers market?
No. Oh my goodness.
No. This is a big one. So for all of you hopping in here, you're catching it at the right time. A farmers market is, I think, another personality trait of San Luis Obispo. Every Thursday, non-COVID times, they shut down the main street of downtown for cars, but they set up a farmers market. We're a quarter system. Got you. So they set up a farmers market on the main street. They block it off, and people are just walking around this farmers market. There's music bumping. There's tons of like food. They bring their grills out, and it's just the entire community coming together, and it is just the most beautiful thing ever. And it's at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Thursday. And for so long, I had class from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Thursdays. And I purposely made a point of changing that for a quarter because I wanted to make sure to go to Farmers. But that was just me, but it was not like the biggest deal. Some people are morning class people. Some people are evening class people. If you're more of a sunrise person, take evening classes. If you're more of a sunset person. But that's my take. But Abby.
Yeah, you nailed that. Yeah. I think there's a couple of things too that like if you know are going on in SLO, or like you know that there's like a certain coffee shop that you like spending time at on a certain morning, like, you know, just kind of see if you can plan your class around that. With online stuff, it's been pretty easy for me at least to do that, which has been another added bonus of that. So yeah, I feel honestly like super connected to SLO right now because I've been spending more time like in SLO, I would say, than I normally would because I would be on campus. So yeah.
Well, if y'all want to put any last few questions in the chat, we've kind of gone through most things. Okay, so downtown is a mile off of campus, pretty much. I'd say it takes there's a bus system that takes, I think, like literally 5 minutes to get you from campus to downtown. So there's a free transportation system for Cal Poly students that you could take, but honestly, you could walk. I walked when I was a freshman. And then if you live off campus your second year, everything's just so close. Abby and I were talking about how much we just love the accessibility in SLO. Oh, Abby, Callie's asking you what your favorite beach is.
Ooh, I talked about Shell. I love Shell with my whole heart. I also really like the downtown in Morro Bay. I think downtown Morro is just like absolutely adorable. So definitely like not just SLO's downtown, but like all the ones in SLO County too. Like going to all their different downtowns and like exploring all the different cities that border SLO. I personally had never even like been to Central California until I got into Cal Poly, so it's kind of fun. There's a lot to explore.
Also plug for all of you who are 21 plus or who are bringing your parents and supporters. If they are interested, we have, I believe, over 400 beautiful wineries around here in San Luis Obispo County. So that's just one thing to plug.
I also see a lot of questions just quickly about housing. I just want to plug a couple things. We have a lot of videos on our YouTube about housing as well. Some groups of second years are required to live on campus. So some sophomores live on campus and some live off campus. A lot of the dorms do have kitchens. I think almost all of them, they have like common room kitchens. If you live in also our apartment style dorms, those also have their own like kitchenettes in their rooms. Your friend can totally be your roommate. You just get to request them on the portal. Yeah, there's a lot about housing just like technically that is on the YouTube page as well. So make sure to check that out.
We do want to be conscious of your time.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that you will be enjoying them. But we do want to be conscious of your time. So if y'all have any questions, please be sure to email admissions@calpoly.edu. Abby and I are also sometimes on the receiving end of those emails. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. But thank y'all so much for tuning in this Monday. And I believe we will be back next Monday. And so email us if you have any questions. Again, my name is Lindsay.
My name's Abby.
And have a beautiful rest of your week. Be safe and be lovely. And we'll talk to y'all soon.
Hey there. Thank you for watching the video. Please share any questions or comments down below. Go ahead and click here to subscribe, and to watch more videos, click here. If you want to sign up for a virtual visit, or if you want to talk to a student or staff member, check out our website. Link in the description. Thank you for watching.